Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got a review of the 13th Koyote, and this is book 8 in the Splatter Western series from Death's Head Press, and this is written by Christopher Triana. All right, so first things first, I am doing this, or I was doing this as a buddy read with Brad Proctor. Brad got behind, and we were supposed to read on Sundays, Mondays, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. And we were supposed to read 3 chapters a day on those days. And so that's what I did, because I can read at work. And so that's what I did. I read at work, and I read 3 chapters a day, and I finally finished it. And Brad's a little bit behind, so he's going to be doing his review, I'm pretty sure, after he finishes. I don't know. He may not review it, but I'm pretty sure he will. Brad reviews everything. Brad reads Campbell's soup labels and reviews the contents. I mean, that's what Brad does. Anyway, so this is a werewolf novel set in the Old West. And I'm going to tell you flat out, it is a doozy of a werewolf novel, especially for one set in the Old West. In fact, I can't think of any... Well, wait a minute. There is one called... Gosh, I can't remember the name. I think it's called The Wolves of Santa Sangre from Eric Red. Eric S. Brown has one out called A Pack of Wolves set in the Old West with werewolves. Anyway, let me tell you what this book is about. All right, so it is basically your classic good versus evil tale. So you have this town called Hope's Hill. All right, so there's this guy buried in Hope's Hill by the name of Jasper Thurston. Well, some dipstick decides to dig him up because that's what he does. He does that to sell bodies, all right? So he digs him up and he finds this thing, basically his Jasper's heart, and it's within this trinket, I guess you could say, all right? What this guy doesn't know is that Jasper was the first coyote. And what the coyotes are, and you're going to introduce to them right now, is the coyotes are this marauding band of wolfen, aka werewolves. You know, and they ride from town to town. They wreak havoc. I mean, we're talking about some bloody, gory stuff going on here in this book, okay? So whenever he digs this guy up, this Jasper fella up, the rest of the coyotes, or the wolfen, whatever you want to call them, we'll say coyotes. They are werewolves, but they're called coyotes. I don't know why. But they get a feeling that that's what's happened. That his body's been, basically to them, it's been desecrated, and they're not going to hear of it, all right? So you've got this marauding band of coyotes, aka werewolves, and they are on their way very quickly to Hope's Hill, all right? Now, the only thing about that is that there is another coyote, or a former coyote, by the name of Luther. Now, Luther I'm not going to really spoil anything. He is the titular 13th Koyote, but he learned how to control his lycanthropy to where he's not killing innocent people. So he sides with the people of Hope's Hill. He sides with the sheriff of Hope's Hill. This guy is a brand new sheriff. And he's got this marauding pack of werewolves coming down on him. He's got to figure out a way to protect this town, all right? Because not only do they want Jasper's body, they want Jasper's heart, but up in the church, and there's nuns. There's Sister Mabel and Sister... might be a Sister Abigail. I don't know, or either that. I'm flashing back to the WWE. Anyway, there's this thing up there called the Menhir. And whenever somebody is like really, what it does, it basically brings out the evil in you. You know, like if you're this sweet, nice, sweet nun, you know, you might have feelings of temptation. But if you're these marauding, murderous freaking werewolves, it's going to be even worse. So you got this town, this Hope's Hill. They're trying to protect themselves and protect this church from these werewolves. We're talking about werewolves on freaking horseback, okay? So you got the little posse here, and you got the werewolves here. Not only do you have the sheriff and Luther, you got this big, huge black guy by the name Oscar. And Oscar's got a wife, a little Indian wife that he loves very much. And I ain't going to spoil anything. I'm not going to tell you what happens to her. But Yeah, there's more. There's more people trying to fight this town. And then there's another girl, a young girl of about 17 named Delia. Now what happens is on their way to Hope's Hill, these werewolves come upon Delia's family and they slaughter all of them. In fact, in one part of it, a very grotesque part, they make her eat her mother or part of her mother. And they kill her baby brother and they basically leave her for dead. All right. So she wants revenge on these beasts. Okay. So that's it. That is basically the premise of this story is good versus evil. This small town trying to protect itself. These werewolves trying to get what they want. There is blood. There is gore. There is action pretty much almost every freaking page of this book. It is an absolutely fantastic read. In fact, I told Brad, I said, you know what? When I started reading it, I said, you know what? I don't think this book is going to be as good as The Magpie Coffin. The Magpie Coffin is the splatter western, or at least the one in this series, that we're basically comparing all other books to because it is just a fantastic read. I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to tell you flat out that this book here, The 13th Koyote, it is better to me, in my opinion, it is better to me than even The Magpie Coffin. If I could give this book 5.5 stars, I would give it 5.5 stars. But that being said, I'm not going to do that. This is a 5-star read. I absolutely loved it. It is the thickest book in the series, but my gosh, I think if I hadn't been doing the 3 chapters a day thing, I would have just zoomed right through this. But I wanted to stay true to what Brad and I talked about. And I can't help that Brad is behind. That's okay. He will catch up. But yeah, I would have zoomed through this book like it was nothing. All right. Yes, 5 stars to this book. That is my review. 13th Koyote. Get it, read it, love it, because I know you will. All right. Anyway, that's going to do it. You guys stay safe and see you later. Bye.